Welcome back to Lakeland, Florida. I'm Adam, joined by Will. More fun mid-season showdown action coming up.
No, and now we've got a matchup for you. Don Check and Emily Golub, both of whom top cut Florida Regionals this past year.
Yeah, the last time we were in Daytona, which is quite a while ago now. We've kind of had a move in where our Daytona event occurs. Both of them making the top cut there, so both players should be able to put on a show, and I'm going to be honest, the teams are exciting.
Yeah, and actually very similar, too. We have both teams playing Kyogre Palkia teams.
Yeah, I like them. I'm just going to put it out there right off the bat. I like them. I think Palkia and Kyogre obviously make sense to go together. Just the pure logic of, we'll have one boost the other one up. It's really up to the players to try and capitalize on that, that rain. There's not going to be any contest in it, so both the Palkias aren't going to be, usually when you play a Palkia team, you're potentially struggling a little bit to say, I want the rain up so I can hit hard with my water-type attacks. But with two Kyogres there, no concern. Once it's up, it's pretty much up, I think, the rest of the game.
And so, getting in here, we see Dawn has a Kyogre, a Palkia, a Salazzle, Whimsicott, Tapu Lele, and Kartana, whereas Emily has a Stakataka, a Palkia, a Kyogre of her own, a Serena, a Tapu Lele, and an Incineroar.
Yeah, 3 Pokemon the same. Kyogre, Palkia, Tapu Lele. Yeah, I'm on board with that. And you look at Don, and you're like, appears to be a Salazzle. Salazzle, Whimsicott. We've got Fire type, both of them Incineroar to Salazzle. We've got that Steel type, Kartana to Stakataka, and Grass type,
So a lot of parity here.
Whimsicott to Serena, so very different.
I do think it's very likely that Emily's team on paper has a slight advantage against Dawn's team with that Serena. That Serena's going to put a lot of pressure on Kyogre.
Yeah, and I think that definitely makes a difference. But in the same way, you could say that Kartana puts down good pressure on it as well.
For sure.
But, I think Serena's just more well-known for being able to do it this year. It's been an interesting selection. We're going to see exactly what comes out. Tapu Bebe over on one side, the naming convention. A lot of players, I don't know why, it's happened in the trading card game as well, they love, whenever you have that A sound, to call it Bay.
And we're going to see both teams here, though, with some very, very tight color synergy.
All right, no, I agree. And one of them's really blending in to that psychic terrain, that Kyogre, almost camouflage at this point. So maybe Emily won't notice it's there. Just leave it alone. I don't think that's how it works.
But we have Dawn leading with Tapu Lele and Kyogre, and Emily leading with Palkia and Tapu Lele. And I think here, no player has a distinct advantage, but we're going to see Dawn switch out his Kyogre for Whimsicott.
Yeah, that's interesting to see what he can do with that. See if he can carve out some kind of advantage with it, as we do see allies switch from Emily's side of the field, so making Don's targeting potentially useless, as the Moonblast will now head towards the Tapu Lele.
Tapu Lele, yeah.
That's not the desired target. It's Palkia Trick Rooms.
And this has been an Emily Golub special for a few years now. I remember matching up against her back in 2016, and Trick Room Palkia was a specialty.
Oh yeah, no, I actually remember playing against this. There was an old store back here in Central Florida known as the Game Academy. The Game Academy was a bit of a relic of a store. Very large plastic tables. I remember playing the Trick Room Palkia with Emily there, so my Zekrom was not enough in that matchup. But if there's one way to set up a Trick Room safely, why not ally switch?
But I think it's important to note here, with the Psychic Terrain up, Whimsicott's not going to be able to use any of its Prankster disruptive options.
Right.
We see some weather here, which is a way around it.
Yeah, this Palkia is not able to do much. The Sunny Day already limiting those water-type attacks. It doesn't matter when you don't hit them. The Moonblast there, still super effective.
Doing a heaping helping of damage.
Yeah, it's a lot. Emily's having to fight back with the Tapu Lele of her own. Good amount of damage off that Psyshock in the Psychic Terrain. But, basically missing the Hydro Pump. It wouldn't have done much anyway, but it would have been important damage to get down.
Oh, absolutely. And I think Palkia is in a really bad spot here. Facing down both of these fairies, it can't use its Spatial Rend attack against them, and the Sun is shutting off its Hydro Pump.
I think it's pretty interesting that Don set up the rain and then turned it off himself. He's like, oh, no.
He's like, absolutely not.
No, thank you. Pass on that. And that means that Emily's going to be forced to remove this Palkia. Bring in Stack Attack. Trick Room's up. it's not exactly a bad time to see it, and you've been getting hit with Moonblast, so why not, right?
Yeah, there's no overt threat against Stakataka. Kyogre's in back here. Trick Room is up, so he can start, or she can start getting off like a few attacks here.
Yeah, I mean, this Whimsicott's going to Moonblast. We're going to see where that's heading. Whimsicott not known for its offensive prowess. Basically getting a bit of chip damage down on this Stack Attacker, and I think with, a little bit more Trick Room remaining, Stack Attacker may be able to start finding some knockouts, or at least putting down huge damage.
Yeah, I would not be surprised to see some Rock Slides coming down here. I don't think you need to Gyro Ball this Lele. I think a Rock Slide should probably do it, and it gives you some more neutral coverage for if that, like, Kyogre comes in.
Yeah, I think Rock Slide, being able to pick up a knockout on Whimsicott and damage something in the Tapu Lele slot, certainly important. Does look like there's going to be a Z move right away, though. That Z move actually coming out of the Stack Attack.
I was going to say, that looks like the Rock Z move to me.
It is, yeah. That's Rocky MZ, the dance that associates with it. Not seen that since Gigalith was a thing in 2017. So Continental Crush, maybe trying to catch something on the switch in. But, Tapu Lele definitely doomed for this juncture.
For sure, and there's no real reason to risk the Rock Slide miss here. If something comes into that Tapu Lele, you do an absurd amount of damage to it, and if not, you just make sure you pick up the knockout.
Yeah, I mean, does get the Emily gets the Beast Boost here. I mean, the Psyshock's going to be in a good position to just pick up this Whimsicott, not a problem there. So whatever comes in now still has a little more Trick Room to get through. That's not going to be fun.
No.
Yeah, I think it's one more turn of Trick Room.
Yeah, and this Beast Boost to defense isn't going to be a huge boon to her. We've noted that most of Dawn's team is specially offensive, and we're going to see that fourth Pokemon is going to be his own Palkia.
Actually, the Beast Boost went in the attack.
Oh.
So just a very strange mechanic here. When your numbers are exactly the same, going down, obviously they're always in the same order, hit points, attack, defense. When your numbers are matched, it always takes the one that's first in the list. It's a very strange mechanic. I don't quite know where it came from. Question mark, but it's now means that Rock Slides are going to hit harder.
Yeah.
So really interesting to see. Can Emily stay in a position to keep using this Stack Attacker? Because as soon as that Trick Room goes down, that's going to be a problem. And if that happens, maybe it wouldn't be a bad thing for your Tapu Lele to get knocked out this turn.
I think it's very likely we probably see a double protect coming out from Dawn just to like wait out this last set. And if we don't see a switch out on Emily's side, it leaves Dawn in a very good position.
Yeah, Dawn can swing it back right around there. Obviously, you've got the potential ally switches to keep something safe, which is what we're going to see now. So no protects. Just ally switch to try and mess with things. Maybe try and take something a little bit over that way. And no protects on Don's side means he's going to get caught with a Stone Edge.
Yeah, and not sure if the critical hit actually matters from a +1 attack Stakataka, but it certainly makes sure it gets the knockout.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to see a Hydro Pump now. It was heading towards that Stack Attacker, so another fine ally switch there by Emily. So Tapu Lele goes down. Not too much of a concern. Trick Room's going to end at this juncture. And then, essentially, Emily's going to be able to bring in 2 potential Trick Room setters, and then 2 Pokemon that also cause trouble for Palkia.
Yeah, and I think Emily's in a good position here. There's no downside to actually ally switching there. She's got a full team behind her. She has these other threats where if Palkia decides it wants to target down the Stakataka, she has other threats that hit back.
Yeah, we'll see exactly what Emily decides to go for to close out this game. Losing the Tapu Lele, probably one of the easier ones to lose here. But 3v1, Palkia is great, but it's all single target.
Yeah.
That's going to be the problem. Palkia's Spatial Rend will hit this Serena, so maybe trying to just gather a bit of information. It takes it pretty well.
Yeah, and we're going to see a Power Web come out here, and that is going to hit the Palkia hard.
Yeah, Palkia's going to get caught there. Another Stone Edge connects. Definitely doesn't need any assistance getting the knockout there.
No.
Taking a very commanding game 1, maybe catching Don slightly off guard with some of those ally switch Trick Rooms, all of those fun things.
Absolutely. Tapu Lele helping Stakataka take heads in that game.
Yeah, that was actually brutal. I think it's interesting to see we were so confident. We're just like, yeah, just Rock Slide. Where's the Rock Slide? And then you're like, oh wait, it's actually Stone Edge. Which makes sense, when you're holding the Rocky MZ, it always takes its damage based off the move kind of before it, that it's based off as such. So Stone Edge doing more damage than Rock Slide, meaning you are going to be open to a whole new range of knockouts there.
And in a big Pokemon format where you have these restricteds that have stats that are much higher than your other sort of normal run-of-the-mill Pokemon, having that attack with the option to do more damage to them sometimes is extremely important.
Yeah, I think, when you're playing against Pokemon like Groudon, like Kyogre, every bit of damage you can pump out really does help. We've seen a few people, I've spoken to people who are team building, and they're like, well, it can take this hit. I'm like, have you banked on a bigger hit? And they're like, nah, it won't happen. And when it does, you're kind of shooketh. You're like, oof.
No, but I'll be interested to see how Dawn sort of switches up his game plan here. Leading the Kyogre into the Palkia forced him to backpedal early on, and maybe he might predict the Palkia lead here and try to be more offensive on that first turn.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is if you go all offensive, you bank on the ally switch, and you don't get ally switched.
Yep. Agreed.
There's a problem. And we did see as well, we did see that the Moonblast didn't even get the Palkia in the end, so it was, interesting to see exactly how that one could play out. Looks like the synergy is going to be mixed up a little bit here. Still sticking to the color scheme on Don's side. Emily bringing a grey and blue Pokemon. Not sure that's approved for the color palette we're going with today, but it's in a great position right now. Both Pokemon on Emily's side can set Trick Room, and I think you're not going to be able to knock out both. Yes, you can knock out Stack Attacker with a big Hydro Pump potentially, playing off its slightly weaker special defense. And if you do that, okay, that's fine. Palkia's just going to set Trick Room.
Yeah, and playing a little bit riskier here and possibly going for a double Trick Room here means that the Taunt can't shut down your Trick Room sets, but it does come with the risk of resetting your own Trick Room if he doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, if Don just double attacks and neither get knocked out, then you Trick Room and Trick Room, it's a conundrum and essentially a wasted turn. The Palkia will protect, though. So Emily may be banking on that one getting taunted or attacked. So we are going to see a Z move right off the bat from Don. Looks like there's a knockout he's trying to take. It's going to be his Palkia with a Waterium Z. So a Hydro Vortex here. I think that Stack Attacker could be in trouble, Will.
I think this is very likely to knock out that Stack Attacker, hitting it on its weaker special defensive side.
Yeah, I mean, here we go. It's just not known for taking these kind of hits. And it's gone.
It is a clean one-hit knockout.
Yeah, maybe bring that Stack Attacker a little bit too early for an Emily side. And Tapu Lele does reveal the taunt here, so that Palkia is going to struggle to get that Trick Room up right now.
And so that was a really good lead on Don's side. Making sure that the Water Z will knock out the Stack Attacker, and doubling into the Palkia with a taunt means that there is absolutely no way that Trick Room's going up that turn.
Yeah, that was literally a hard Trick Room counter lead by Don, and he executed it perfectly. Both Pokemon were countered by what was directly opposite them on the board, and then he was just able to say, okay, well, I'll knock one out and I'll taunt the other one, or, I'll taunt one, the other one will protect, and I'll just knock it out next turn. So really smart play there, and I think this Tapu Lele is going to be quite an issue, I'd argue, for Emily to knock out right now. The Palkia struggles to hit it as strong. Tapu Lele, we saw it Psy-shocking it earlier, but, certainly an option here is we do see Emily's Tapu Lele moving first. Trying to get rid of that Palkia with a Moonblast and getting it with ease.
That is a clean one-shot. This is what we see when we see mirror matches. Whoever moves first tends to be at an advantage. But in this side, Don opts not to go for a Moonblast on that Palkia, and he taunts it so that it can't set up its Trick Room.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you stop the Trick Room is important. It's definitely a key thing to know. And you get this Kartana in, which is great. But, this Tapu Lele over on Emily's side took an easy knockout there with the Moonblast, so able to keep that pressure up with at least something, and maybe even start ally switching just to keep something like that Palkia safe and allow it to weave in those strong attacks.
I think Don is actually in a good position here. We have seen both Trick Room and Protect from Palkia, which means it most likely does not carry a fire coverage move, which means this Kartana is most likely safe.
Yeah, I think the Kartana is definitely safe. It's going to have to eat a Moonblast for its troubles, though. Does take it very well with that not very effective hit. Special attack is down.
Oh no.
Yeah, looks like the Palkia is probably done for now. Though. Double target, both the Leaf Blade and the Moonblast. Kind of upsetting. Leaf Blade doesn't get it, so you don't get a Beast Boost.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Emily's now lost a couple of really key Pokemon to her team, and I think it's going to be a bit of a struggle. Maybe having to try and swing the game really quickly with the Serena Tapu Lele. So that's a tough sell.
Not having Kyogre in the back when this Kartana is looking to go down is unfortunate for sure. But at the same time, we've seen that Emily's Tapu Lele has moved quicker than Dawn's 2 turns in a row. It is most likely faster, which means that it is going to be able to knock out this Kartana before Dawn can double into the Lele to get the knockout.
Yeah, Kartana's forced to leave the field, actually, so Dawn getting his Kyogre in the face of a Serena. If there's a prediction there, it's going to be a rough one.
It's unfortunate, but I do think it is necessary to preserve this Kartana for once you've gotten the Lele to within knockout range.
Yeah, that's definitely important. First Moonblast comes down over onto the Tapu Lele, so just weakening that one up. Lowering the special attack is actually important in this instance. Retaliates with a Psy Shot, so that special attack drop is key there, I think. The knockoff comes through. I like that.
And that crit is going to ensure that the Tapu Lele gets knocked out by the knockoff. The special attack drop, of course, unfortunate. But I do not think it made a difference between knocking out the Serena and it surviving.
No, it's not a knockout kind of differential, but it is important to say,
absolutely.
like, you know, it does have a little more health, and when you're down to your last two, every little bit of health is going to be important. So certainly interesting, as we are now in a 2-on-2, and not having any damage down on this Tapu Lele, definitely interesting. If this Serena can freely get an attack in on this Kyogre, could certainly change the game around a little bit. So we'll see if Emily can clutch it out, even though the start of the game was rocky. Don, though, with a full health Kyogre, definitely keeps him in a solid position as no attack from Emily's side of the field to start, just the ally switch.
And I kind of would have liked to see an attack from Tapu Lele here, maybe get damage down on Kyogre to make sure that the Water Spout doesn't do anything, but a timely critical hit on Smart Strike is going to knock out that Serena.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what you need. Kyogre's Water Spouting as well, and you've had no option to stop that. So Water Spout will bring it down to a Focus Sash. Interesting reveal on the item there. But right now, you know, Don has managed to get that Kartana in a position. The Smart Strike so important, I think, being able to get that knockout.
For sure. Kartana's going to seal up this game. Tapu Lele does not move quicker than it, and there's nothing it can do here. And we see the forfeit. Yeah,
I mean, going into Game 3, both players have kind of executed their strategy exactly how they wanted it. We've had, you know, the perfect Trick Room execution in Game 1 for Emily. We've had this counter Trick Room and then offensive threats from Don in Game 2. So be curious to see, you know, Emily really itching to get back to that classic Trick Room setup, which he did get off in Game 1, but can she find a way to do it against Don's answer that he showed in Game 2? And honestly, I don't know if she can.
No, absolutely. And what's interesting enough is I feel like Stakataka is not that great in this matchup. I think in the first game, Emily executed perfectly, and she was able to keep it in a safe position and take key knockouts, and I think she played it extremely well.
Yeah, well, we are going to see Don inspecting his team statistics here, just making sure he knows his team inside and out. If you're looking for some insight on his team, for those of you team building at home, pause on your favorite Pokemon, and he showed you all the numbers there. So you can train one just like Don Check.
But I think here he might not necessarily be looking at his team necessarily and maybe trying to gauge where Emily's team stacks up against it. If he knows his stats, he can kind of look at how the match went, see where Emily's Pokemon match up in like speed and offense, and kind of get a feeling for how they've been trained.
Yeah, and I think the big one is going to be that Tapu Lele matchup. That's something that we did see him looking at there. Maybe considering, well, if I don't bring the Tapu Lele, is there something else I could bring in its slot? You know, maybe the Salazzle, known for being speedy. If you were getting a little bit hacked off with that, you just say, all right, have this. Have Salazzle. I'm just going to sludge bomb you every turn. So we'll see what Dom was looking at, see if he makes any changes here. Maybe one of those Pokemon in the back subs out for something a little bit different. We are going to see the Palkia Tapu Lele combo once again from Emily, so trying to execute differently. And a different lead once again from Don.
And I think Don made a good read here. He expected the Sakataka not to come in again, and instead led with the Palkia, who's a direct threat to both this Lele and this Palkia.
Yeah, I think, you know, the Palkia coming in again, you know, you've still got the option to do a little bit more. So Kartana's going to be in a fine position, I think. You know, Smart Strikes, really, really important there that we've seen. Something like the Leaf Blade, still good damage on that Palkia. So really not a bad position. I think both players here just need to go offensive, and then if Emily can carve out a lead like that, then she can look to Trick Room. But right now, she's not in the best or safest position to do so.
And I think Emily needs to avoid the ally switch bait here and protect the Palkia. I think shooting that Moonblast into Don's Palkia, which we saw be one-hit knocked out by it, in the last game is going to be a very important move for her.
Yep, well, there's the Leaf Blade from Kartana. Not going to be enough to do it as the Moonblast follows up right now. We've consistently seen that Tapu Lele going first. It's not going to get the knockout this time. It's going to keep it down at 3 as the Palkia roars the Tapu Lele instead. So no chance to stop the Trick Room. The Stack Attacker's brought in right now, and the Trick Room. So I think what Don predicted there was obviously the ally switch into the Trick Room play, and smart by Emily to not take that bait. And now you've got Trick Room, Stack Attacker, and your Palkia.
Or even a switch, like even if Emily had switched the Lele into Stakataka, you roar the Stakataka as it comes out, and you force Emily to devote another turn to get herself into an offensive position.
Yeah, but that, Emily went for it. Yeah, she didn't get the knockout. I mean, it would have been a really good turn if she got the knockout there. But right now, you're in a fantastic position. Stack Attacker, kind of interesting in its offensive choices. Kartana, you do need to deal with this Kartana. But, with its gyro ball, with its stone edge, my apologies, I was about to say rock slide there, you're not going to be able to do that. So Emily's just got to carve out a way to get around this Kartana, because right now it's in a position to just start hitting things for knockouts.
For sure. Even though Kartana is the fastest Pokemon on the field and under Trick Room the slowest, it still is not directly threatened by either of these Pokemon.
Yep, well, the Stack Attacker is going to use its Z move anyway. Doesn't need it to knock out the Palkia, but might just be wanting to get extra damage down on this Kartana. Or that potential slot would be a bit sad to see it on the Palkia, but then Kartana's going to get caught by it. Well known for its physical defense, Kartana, so should be able to take this pretty well. And obviously its typing certainly helps out there, but under half health, not going to be in the strongest position. And now forward up the special attack. The Spatial Rend from Palkia is enough, so I think Emily playing quite smartly there, knowing, hey, Kartana's the biggest problem right now for this team, so I'm going to get rid of it. And maybe it's just going to be a trade that could be a very worthwhile trade.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Don was willing to trade his Kartana here. The Stakataka is, of course, an incredible threat for Emily's team in the position it's been put in, and he's just going to want to wipe it off the map.
Yeah, he absolutely has to. But, that levels up the Pokemon count. But, Emily certainly has some options on her team. If she has another Pokemon that can capitalize off the Trick Room, we've seen the Tapu Lele, the Palkia, Stack Attacker. She's got her choice of Kyogre, Serena, Incineroar. And whichever one of those, if it matches up well against the backside of Dom's team, then things could get pretty nasty pretty quickly.
And of course,
if it's the Kyogre, and you don't have Sunny Day, it could just kind of run away with the game. It is going to be Serena, though.
And Kartana was Don's main check to Emily's Kyogre. And so if she does... Oh, well, she doesn't have Kyogre in the back, so Don's going to be happy to see that.
Yeah, I mean, Don's in an interesting position now where he's got Serena, he's got a Palkia of his own. Obviously, the Palkia is a little bit low, but it can still try and deal good damage here, I think.
Yeah, and I think this Palkia is most likely not long for this world. With 3 health, any sort of priority attack could pick it off.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you can't go for the priority attacks in the Psychic terrain, but if there comes a point, where this Palkia on Emily's side, going with that Spatial Rend into the Tapu Lele, so a good defensive switch there, but it doesn't save your Kyogre from getting Power Whip.
And that is unfortunate. I think this might be too much of a momentum loss for Don to come back from. Yeah. He has that 3 health Palkia and a full health Tapu Lele, but he's staring down 3 very healthy Pokemon on Emily's side.
Yeah, I mean, Emily's also got the Tapu Lele of her own, and if Trick Room does end, and she's forced to bring that in, she can just kind of clean up with it at that point.
Absolutely.
So, Palkia over on Emily's side, not going to have to worry about being caught with the Spatial Rend switch, because you can't switch with 2 Pokemon. Unless, of course, Don has Ally Switch. I don't think he does. He probably would have revealed it by now. Actually, we've seen its moves.
And I think it's unfortunate, but Palkia has proven to be Emily's MVP on both sides of the game.
Well, we do see Palkia over on Emily's side open up with the Hydro Pump, just trying to get rid of that Tapu Lele. The fact that Don switched in the Kyogre makes it a super easy knockout. And there it is. Emily's going to wrap up this set, proving once again that when she plays Trick Room Palkia, she wins games.
Yeah, absolutely. She has a lot of experience. She has a lot of experience in that matchup, and she's just proving that she knows how to pilot it extremely well.
Yeah, no, she's been doing it for, as we said at the beginning of the kind of round, 3 years now. 2016 was when she started using it, so very smart play, I think, from Emily there to stick with what she knows and execute it perfectly once again. So Emily, taking out Don in round 2, certainly one of those bigger names that you want to play against and get that experience against with Daytona Regionals.
Yeah.
Just 3 or so weeks away. So, again, our rounds have been pretty short. Looks like they're wrapping up here.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll be back soon with round 3.